Hello, welcome back, or welcome here if you're new. First of all, life updates, I got a tattoo on my arm. It actually just started peeling. It's like forming new skin or whatever. It is a little bit bigger than what I wanted, but I mean, too late to complain about it now, you know? But now I've got a really cool idea for a sleeve, and I really want to get started on that, because it's gonna be sick. And I also fell down a lot of random YouTube rabbit holes, and recently I've fallen down the rabbit hole of Vice videos about tattoos. Amazing. Love them. Literally so fascinating to me, and I'm like, if I was artistically inclined, I could be a tattoo artist. If I was, but unfortunately I'm not. But I could be. Never give up on your dreams. So that's a good update. My glasses are really dirty. That's a second update. I don't know if y'all want to see that. They're also like so scratched up. Can you see that? Oh my god, I love doing this. Did it work? I don't know. Anyways, my glasses are dirty. That's the point of that story. I'm doing a makeup video today. I just thought that today would be a good idea to do some makeup and just chat. You know, there's a lot of things going on in life. Life is hectic, you know? I'm sure you know. You live a chaotic life too. We all do. It's just different levels. I also didn't mention in the last video that I did, but I did get the last piece of the 3 in my ear here. But I guess I shouldn't say last piece, because now I want to get another one, so it's like a full ear cuff thing, and oh, that's so exciting. I have my makeup brushes over here. Don't really know why I set them there, but yeah, I've been doing some organizing. That's cool. There's like a good amount of things that I want to touch on today, so this is good. This is good for us. This is healthy communication. Iconic. You know, I think it's funny when I start wheezing. Like, you know. When I'm having an asthma attack, you know somebody just said something hilarious. So we're gonna do primer. I'm using my NYX, bear with me. And I got my little mini mirror here, so we're just going. How's everyone's summer going? Now that it's September. How do you feel about that? I can guarantee, and I've said this before in one of my other makeup videos, and it's still true and it's still gross. Most of the stuff that I own, probably like in general, but especially with makeup, is expired. I don't do makeup that often. Back in the day, I had dreams of wanting to be a makeup artist, and I still could do that, but I literally bought like a whole set of makeup and brushes and stuff to use on other people. And that stuff is still brand new. Had a rough night yesterday. You'd think it would be from partying, but no! Not at all. I actually had some fries that were half regular fries and half sweet potato, and I don't like sweet potatoes. But I don't know if my body physically just can't handle them and their presence there. And I didn't even eat that many of them. Like, I mostly just had the regular fries, but I don't know if they had that much of an impact just in a small quantity of them. I don't know. Point is, I came home and I was feeling the rumblies, you know, I got the rumblies and my tumblies, and it takes a little while to set in when you're about to, how do I make it sound not gross? Basically, I had the fries and then I didn't have the fries. You know what I mean? So they made a reappearance, and I felt terrible. But that lasted for a couple hours. It was not a very good time. I also got a haircut yesterday. Now it's here, as we can see. Also, this sick Nirvana shirt. Hello? But yeah, I got a haircut. It's here now. It used to be, like, here. It was pretty long. Turns out your hair grows a lot faster when you're not bleaching it all the time, which is a really interesting concept and one that I've never thought about too deeply. I'm not ready for winter, though. I'm actually not. I'm not prepared to deal with winter. If I'm being honest, I'm not keen on the winter here.
Love.
Also, okay, there's a lot to talk about. I have started a week-long vacation off of work, which is all good and fun and whatnot. And I only did that because I haven't used any vacation time yet, and I knew that I had vacation time. And they told me that I had a week and a half of vacation time, so I'm like, okay, let me just take a vacation real quick. So I booked the vacation for now, like a month or so ago, and now here we are. We're on vacation. Yeah, so far, it's going like a typical vacation would, you know. You have a really hard couple of days, and then, you know, you start your vacation off with a bang. Huge mental breakdowns. And then I was sick yesterday, so like, we're really just having the best vacay right now. I've got, you know, stuff to figure out in my life, as we all do. I don't think that I should be drinking this right now, but peach kombucha, this is pretty good. But I had the ginger lemon one of this a little while ago, and like the first half of the bottle, because I drank it when I first opened it, like this one has been sitting in the fridge for a few days, so it's like flat now. It's not as crispy and crunchy, but when I drank the ginger lemon one, at first I was like, oh, ooh, and then as I kept drinking I was like, oh, ooh, and then it hit me. It hit me in the depths of my brain. I'm like, wait a second! This is literally ginger ale, but like a stronger kick, you know? But it has 0 sugar. 0. I think I do prefer the ginger lemon one over this one, because that one does taste like ginger ale after you get over the initial shock of like, what is this? You realize it is ginger ale. Eventually. In like the most exciting news that I've had in I don't know how long, I am going to be attending. I'm going to be in attendance of Sarah Baska's and Joy, I forget her last name. Joycella. I'm going to Joycella. Oh, and I'm so excited. Like, I'm nervous, but I'm really stoked. I am just in need of something like that, and I don't fully know what to expect, but I know it's gonna be amazing, and I know it's gonna change me for the better. So I've been looking forward to that, and like with anything in regards to that, or like anything that you're like looking forward to, I guess, especially if it involves a workplace, teamwork, group setting scenario sort of thing. Obviously it's like you can be excited initially, because I was having a hard time with the first Joycella, because it was like an internal battle for me. I'm like, I should go. I really want to go. And then I talked myself out of it, and then I didn't go, and I regretted it. And then I was like, okay, well, the next one, I'm gonna do it. And I almost talked myself out of it again, but I'm like, no, you're not. So I turned on Sarah's notifications, and I waited. And I bought them as soon as they went up. Oh, yes. Oh, I did. Because I just had to. So I'm really excited about that, is the point of that. Anyways, what had triggered a thought in my mind is when I was talking in a British accent previously. And that is because, let me tell you something that literally blew my mind. And I do say that a lot, but I'm gonna say it with more conviction now, because this really blew my mind. Anyways, I was looking, you know, I'm trying to figure out my next move in life, as I have been since I was born. But here we are, I'm 21. I'm gonna be 22 in a few months, and what about it? But I've always wanted to live in England. Okay, let's start there. So I've always wanted to live in England. Super good idea. Still think it's a really good idea. And I fell down a rabbit hole, as I do for everything. I just be falling like I'm so clumsy. But I fell down another rabbit hole about visas, because I had this crazy idea earlier this year that I was going to, first of all, I was going to audition for Canada's Got Talent, because I'm in Canada, and I got talent, question mark. But I was going to apply to be on Canada's Got Talent to do stand-up comedy, which I could absolutely kill. So I was like, oh my god, yes. And I had the jokes written out. I mean, I still have them. They're great. And I just have those sitting there now. But then I realized that, like, the main person that I wanted to perform in front of was Howie Mandel, because I just know that he would get it. You know, like, he would think I was really funny. Everyone else, questionable. But him, I know he would think that I was funny. So I was like, okay. And then I realized that Canada's Got Talent does not have him as a judge. I also didn't know that he was Canadian, so I'm like, this is meant to be. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna move to America just for the sole purpose of auditioning for America's Got Talent. Obviously that didn't happen, I'm still here. But I'm like, okay, I'll just figure out how to move to America. You know, very simple task at hand. Even though, obviously, that's not true. But from what I could tell in my brief research, the main kinds of visas were, hello? Get away from me. Fruit flies, they're so annoying. They've been really bad this year. And I left an apple core in my garbage a little while ago. And I kid you not, you know, I opened the lid the day after and there's like 10. And they just all fly out. And I'm just standing there like... and then I realized I gotta close my mouth because they're just gonna fly in there. But obviously the America's Got Talent thing did not happen. Didn't work out yet. But it could, you know. As they say, never give up on your dreams. Yeah. So the types of visas, and I was already kind of familiar with the concept of different kinds of visas. I don't know. I didn't look too deep into it because I got discouraged and it's very complicated to me. But basically it's like, obviously, the work visas, and I'm like, I wouldn't have a legitimate job to move there for. And then of course there's the spousal visa. And I'm not looking to get married just to move to America. So that was out of the question. I gave up on the America idea for now. And also, like, America is like, I don't know. I like living in Canada. I do enjoy Canada. I was just seeing what I could come up with. And I didn't come up with much initially. But then I fell down another rabbit hole about moving to England. Because I very much want to do that. I think that'd be really sick for me, and I think that that would suit me really well. I feel like I would really enjoy it. Guess what came up in my research? And I'm sure most people already know this. I'm just new to the thought of information. But there is such thing, because Canada and the UK, and I think Australia too, are all in cahoots. And apparently there is such thing as a youth mobility visa, that it's between the ages of 18 and 30 or 31, and you can basically move to the UK from Canada or Australia or whatever. They're all in cahoots. And you can basically just move there for no specific reason. Like, you don't need to go there for work or like school or whatever. Like, you can just go there and do what you want as long as you have a set amount of money already, and then, like, you know, you're like providing for yourself so you can keep living there. But I'm like, that is different. Oh yeah, I guess I should probably explain what kind of makeup I'm going for. I'm using the Violet Voss Vibes palette. Is it just Vibes? Bright Vibes. Bright Vibes palette. And I'm using the shade Aerobics. It's the green one there. And I'm just going to do a full green eye today. And then we're going to use the shade Uninvited from Fenty Beauty. It is a very dark black lipstick. So I'm really excited to use that. Oh, this matches my backdrop. Twins. So I'm trying to figure out moving to the UK. And it's gonna be a lot to do that and like figure all that out, but it's gonna be so worth it. The main thing that I'm really upset about is leaving my dogs. Like, that will trigger a mental breakdown instantly if I think about it more than 10 seconds. So there's that. But also, like, I don't drive. And I was planning on getting my G2 by now. But I contacted a driving academy near me, and they said it was going to be 11 months minimum. So I was like, no. And driving really makes me nervous anyways. I just wanted to go to a driving academy to make sure that I'm all set and, feeling confident, make sure that I know what I need to know, which is a lot. I don't have much of an interest in driving, but I just wanted to have my G2. Just to have it in case, Do you want to know what else is super exciting? Oh my gosh. There's another episode of American Horror Story on tonight. I'm so excited that they have the season out. I've been waiting for this moment, and it's amazing so far. I watched the double feature last week, and I'm like, okay, go off. Literally, they can't miss, I don't think. There was a season that I missed, one of the recent ones that I missed, but I wasn't really watching much TV at the time. But American Horror Story is always one that I can count on to be amazing. And the intro for this one, it's amazing, as always. It just throws me off that they use the same song, because I feel like they could make a new song. And there was also a comment somewhere about the new season's intro and saying that Freak Show has the best one. And I think that I might have to agree with that. It does have a very good intro. But I forget how the one that for Hotel goes. And this season is about vampires, if you don't know. Bloodsuckers. On that note, another tangent to go on, I decided that I wanted to be a vampire, or do vampire makeup for Halloween. And I had known about these vampire fangs that you can get from Spirit Halloween, but aside from that, I was looking at just costumes and inflatable costumes, and they had an inflatable chicken costume that was only for kids, and I'm like, if this was for adults, I would have already hit checkout. There was a Patrick costume from SpongeBob, which I'll insert a picture of because it's just so funny seeing pictures of people in costumes. The hands on Patrick in that picture, oh my gosh, that is just so funny. I also really downsized my eyebrows yesterday. I just kept going. I took off the entire ends of them. I don't know if I should add something or if I should just do plain green. I'm kind of feeling just plain green, and then I'm gonna do eyeliner, which hopefully that doesn't take 10 years. My biggest thing is I just don't want to go there and not know anybody. I want to get to know people before I go there, and I also don't know where I'm gonna move. There's so many cool places, because I don't really want to move to London because I want to be out in the, is it countryside? I want to be more in a secluded area. I don't want to be in the city. I want to be slightly outside of the city. So I've just been practicing my accent, because it's really fun to do a British accent anyways. See, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I've had so many ideas with what I'm gonna do with my life, and none of them have really come to fruition yet. That's not terrible. It's thick. It's lively. I've also been thinking about getting LASIK, and I've had that thought for a while, because obviously when you wake up every day and you can't see naturally, it's a thought that crosses your mind at least once. And I've been thinking about it, and I still don't think I'm gonna do it yet. I do want to do it, but I also don't, because I just don't want to risk having problems. I'll do my eyebrows now. This color does not really match my eyebrow. It's not a perfect match here, love. See, I'm kinda good though. Would it be convincing? Probably not. I don't know how hard it is to get a license in England, or what that process is like, but I think it would be better for me to just practice driving in London when I move there. I'm not even gonna say if. I'm officially manifesting it. When I move there, I think it would be a better idea to just learn how to drive. I get how to drive, I get the gist. but like practice driving there, because then it's obviously going to be on the other side of the road, so it's going to take adjusting to anyways. Another big thing that's going on right now is just working on self-confidence is always important. It's definitely been throwing me through a loop lately. I've said this in one of my, I think it was the second video that I ever posted on my channel, but I was talking about how I have a stutter, which still stands true, because I've just accepted at this point, I'm like, it's just a thing that I'm just gonna have for the rest of my days, probably. Which I have accepted. But it's really hard to accept yourself. I don't know. It's just a very sticky situation. And recently, I went to my first ever speech therapy session, and it was interesting because I didn't know what to expect, but I was, and I still am, very optimistic about how things are gonna go, and you know, I feel like I'm gonna make a lot of progress. And like a lot of people, for instance, right now it's like, obviously I'm not stuttering, we can see that, but in public situations and things like that, it just heightens it that much more, because anytime it's ever happened to me, like for example in school, like I couldn't say my name, bro. And it's like, I do know my name, I just can't say it. And my birthday is in December. So like saying my birthday, I'm like, oh my god. And then I just think to myself, in those situations, I was just like, why can't I just have a different name or like a different birthday? And now I realize it's like, that's not the problem. Like, it would be any month, any name, it would be the same thing. So that is really frustrating. It's always been a frustrating thing to deal with, especially because people can't tell. Like obviously it's hidden, like you can't see it. So then when it happens, it's like people a lot of the time are just confused because they're like, what you doing? And I get that. Like I understand that people don't know how to react because it's a very rare thing to have. And especially in adulthood, but I had never been to like speech therapy. I've never gotten any help for it before. But after the session that we had, it was just the initial consultation and all that, and my stutter didn't really come up at all. And she said that that's a common thing because, like, aside from being really frustrated and like embarrassed and like, you know, trying to hide from it and all that stuff, and like I tell myself all the time, I'm like, it's so superficial because it doesn't affect anybody really. It's just embarrassing for me, and people are just like rude and impatient, whatever, but I just need to like not let that get to me, you know? And I'm trying to just like fully accept myself. And I was saying a little while ago, I'm like, oh yeah, you do, like, you know, you're fine, like I accept myself. And I don't. Like, I don't accept myself because after we had our first session, I had a mental breakdown. Let's get that clear. I had a mental breakdown. And it was like kind of a positive one because I'm just really optimistic, and like I'm finally working towards actually like figuring out ways that I can like, you know, make my life easier and like communication easier and like not have to be so stressed out. And obviously that's a huge part of it, and like being anxious, because any interaction with a stutter that I've ever had in my life has always been negative. And it is a negative thing. And for me, I'm so thankful that I've been able to like work on it myself, but a lot of working on it has just been developing avoidance behaviors, which is not actually working on it. Shocker. So yeah, she basically told me at the end of our session was to just pay attention to little things that I do, like things that I, like when I switch words out so I don't mess up. And I didn't realize, like I knew that it was bad, like the way that I communicate with people, and like I switch out words all the time. And honestly, I think having a stutter makes you really, not like smarter, but like smarter in like different ways that people would never understand. Because also, if there's any people watching this that have a stutter, comment below because I see you and I get you. I get it. So yeah, she was basically just like, pay attention to any behaviors that you notice about this and like whatnot. And I'm like, okay, sure. And I really quickly realized that it is worse than I thought. Like, my confidence in myself has gone up tremendously since I've been a kid, or like since I've been alive, like since you've been gone. But still, it's like, even if I'm so confident, you have good and bad days. And I also think that it's really interesting to just think of it from a technical view, because from what, like, I don't know, I watch a lot of TED Talks too, and I was watching a lot of videos about stuttering as well, and I found a deep connection with Steve Harvey just for that reason. Like, I had obviously been familiar with him through like Family Feud, and you know, that's probably just it. But yeah, I didn't know that he was a fellow stutterer. I'm pretty sure it was a master class that he did for like Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, he was talking about that, and like I was getting emotional, he was getting emotional, and I'm like, oh my god, because you just get it. Like, it hurts. It physically, sometimes physically hurts, and emotionally, don't even get me started. Like, oh my gosh, it is so lonely to not be able to talk to people, like physically not be able to say things or like start a conversation, all that stuff. And I grew up not having any friends, and I'm not gonna get into that in this video, but obviously that's a huge contributor to a stutter, because I'm not practicing my communication skills because I'm only sitting with myself, and I still do that now. Thankfully, I do have amazing friends now, but I do still spend the majority of my time alone, and I do really love spending time by myself. I'm great. And I always had to have that mindset, because when nobody else likes you in your life, you really have to like yourself, because there's no other options. It's like, you can have everybody not like you and hate yourself, but that doesn't get you anywhere, because you have to love yourself first. Because ultimately, oh, I goofed. I messed up my eye. Oops. Ultimately, you are the only person that is with you all the time, and you are the only person that is going to be with you for the rest of your life. Period. I mean, I guess the point of that whole spiel is everybody has their own problems. Like, nothing's ever going to be perfect in life. The key is to not focus on negatives. And I am always the person, I say to my friends and myself, and I often sound a little bit crazy, in a good way, because I'm the one that just says like basic inspirational things to people, and I'm just like, no, you got this, like, and I always tell people, manifest it. Like, you know, if you're nervous about something, manifest it, act like you already have what you want and all this stuff. And when I start to not believe that, that's how I know that I'm going through it. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe my own motivational speaking? Like, what? How rude. I'm back on track, I would say. Strictly speaking, I'm still on track. That is a bop. I'm gonna do my lips now. I'm using the Jeffree Star Cosmetics lip liner in dark blue. I would not recommend Jeffree Star Cosmetics because I don't support him anymore, but I am gonna still use the products that I have because they're definitely expired by now. It's just a shame because they are really good products, but it's not worth it, you know, giving money to people that don't deserve it. Anyways, I'm gonna line my lips now. My lips are lined. I do look interesting. This literally just looks like ink, which is really cool. I'll scoot in. Wait, should I just zoom in? It smells weird. Oh, I love it. And it's so dark. Well, yeah. I honestly kind of killed it today, though. I really did. I know that I definitely forgot a lot what I was saying when I was going off on my tangents. So, sorry about that. So I'm sure a lot of those stories and stuff are kind of gonna end abruptly. I don't know. There's been a lot of things to talk about, but I'm happy that we took this time to chillax, to chat, as we should, you know? I hope that everyone watching this has good people in their life that genuinely care about them and want the best for them. And I hope that you want the best for them as well. And that, you know, you guys are just encouraging each other to live your best lives and try to achieve all of your goals and hopes and dreams, because you can all do it, okay? And this is when I get back into motivational speaker mode, because that's where I want to be. I want to be in motivational speaker mode. I don't want to be like, oh, life sucks, nah. I've dealt with that enough and I don't want to be there. So I'm focusing on positivity. That's what I try to do. And it's really hard to do that all the time. It gets too much sometimes. But just because it gets too much sometimes does not mean that we give up. If we lose one day, you know, whatever. Collateral damage, we'll get them next time, champ. There's infinite amount of potential in all of us, and we are going to accomplish amazing things, okay? Amazing things. Now we're gonna do mascara. Mascara era. We're gonna be using the Milk mascara, or Milk Makeup Kush mascara. I think I'm gonna use it on top and bottom lashes today. I always end up going too far with the mascara, like 20 coats in-ish. Then I wonder why it gets chunky. What also solidified moving to London for me though was the brand The Ragged Priest. It's an amazing brand. I've never actually ordered anything from there yet because the conversion rate is terrible and I just don't have money to be spending on that right now. Not that I don't want to, because I very much do. But I'm also trying not to buy clothes anymore. And if I do, it's like one thing here and there. But yeah, I have way too many clothes to begin with. But the Ragged Priest had posted on their Instagram story that they were basically like accepting people to be in their new campaign. And I was like, I want to be in your campaign, Ragged Priest. Like, what are you gonna do? And it said that you had to be in London for, I think it was September 2nd or 3rd, and today's the 1st. So I'm like, well, you know, that dream was shut down real quick. But I'm like, next year though. And I'm also very geographically challenged too. So I can guarantee I've sent some things that don't make complete sense today. I also have vitamin C hauls that I have every day, and every one of them has positive words, like words of encouragement on the wrappers. And I have a couple of them saved because like sometimes they just hit different, and a lot of them, like I'm pretty sure I've seen all of them because they only have a certain amount of sayings that can go on them. But sometimes it just hits different, and then like you'll see it and it's just like, impress yourself today. And I'm like, you know what? Hall's vitamin C wrapper, I'm going to. Thank you. And then I get emotional because I'm like, that was so nice of you to think of me. And I'm gonna try to impress myself today. And tomorrow. I look so good. If only I was in London a couple days from now. Ragged Priest, you know where to find me. They're like, no. I'm gonna scoot this closer so I can do an outro. Hi. Hello. Hi. I always do that. I zoom in accidentally. Oh yeah, and I guess for this, my motivation, or my idea, what am I talking about? The idea that I have for my arm. I was just gonna have it be different styles of tattoos, but I really love traditional tattoos, hence where this one came from. The only thing that I would change about this is to either have the ends of the leaves covered in, or like every other piece of leaf, so it's kind of optical illusion-y, because that's really cool. And I've contemplated getting like the basic snake thing, but I liked it in red ink. I have a whole folder on my phone for tattoo ideas, and like it's just overwhelming and I can't make decisions. I'll insert a picture of the one that I want to get on the back of my arm. Super cool, and I just want to have like a big snake, because this is the black and white side of my body is what I've decided, and then this side is going to be color. But yeah, I'm really excited to get more tattoos, and yeah. that's it. And I was contemplating just cutting my straight across bangs again, but I don't know, I like them like this. Grown out, kind of fringy. But yeah, this is really cute makeup. I like it. It's cute or whatever. Okay, calm down. There was a joke that I thought of earlier that was really funny. I can't think of it now, but it was really funny. Was it though? Maybe I just think it was really funny. It wasn't that funny. That's probably the case. But either way, it would have been still fun for you guys to know. Oh my gosh. What time is it? I don't even know. I'm sure American Horror Story is going to be on in a couple hours. I'm going to go watch that. I'm going to chillax. I don't know. I might play some games. That's fun. I can do whatever because I'm on vacation. Can't you tell? Like, isn't it so obvious I'm in vacay mode? It doesn't feel like I'm in vacay mode yet. Hello. It was really nice having this time to just chat with you today. I hope that you had a good time listening. Even if you weren't listening, that's fine. Just don't listen. How many times can I say in a 10-minute interval? I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna go. What's a good note to end it on? Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I also had a fortune cookie a little while ago, and I don't like the taste of fortune cookies. I don't know. And it seemed like it was a little bit old, not really relevant, but still. So I had picked out this fortune cookie, and I was like, I'm gonna wait to open it. So I opened it eventually, and I knew that it was gonna say something that like spoke to me because, you know, there's always signs from the universe and like you can choose to believe in that or like not. That's totally fine. But I had a huge feeling that it was going to be a sign from the universe. Even if it said something like Bucky Kentucky is the best since sliced toast, I would have been like, whoa, groundbreaking, earth-shattering. But what it said was, believe in yourself, and others will too. And that got me thinking for like 2 seconds, because it's very obvious what that means. But it got me thinking, and I was like, you're right, fortune cookie. You're right. And that's kind of along the same lines of the Vitamin C Halls wrappers. They're just very encouraging to me. And vitamin C is very important right now. Get your vitamin C count in. Yeah. I think I'm done rambling for today. I feel like we've covered a lot of ground. We've caught up. We've tried to make sense of what I'm talking about, and I don't know if we've gotten there, but one day, maybe. But yeah, we did some cool makeup. I honestly don't know how good. I wasn't trying to show myself doing the makeup, if you couldn't tell. You could, but yeah. Also, a black lipstick is a life hack because it makes your teeth look whiter. I'm also really excited for Halloween things because Halloween just gives me a motivation like nothing else. I don't really get it, but I also do. I have some cool makeup looks for Halloween and some that are just gonna be so stupid, and I'm so excited because for those of you who haven't seen it, please go check out my Beetlejuicer video. I feel like it's life-changing. That'll be for you to decide if you want to go check it out. I'm gonna go now for realsies. Goodbye!